Hello, Kansas City. Welcome to another fantastic day out there. I hope your day is getting off to a great start. You are joining us today for a show we call Life After. My name is Chris Odam. I am the lucky host and interviewer of some of the people I have worked with in the past. And the goal of doing this show is to find out what's been going on, but also to introduce to young people some more options and some more opportunities to hear about the paths that might emerge right after high school. So, welcome Gabrielle Davis to Life After.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for being here. All right, so question one, we generally start off with that year you graduated, where you were, and what you remember about that time of your life, or kind of still seems valuable to you these days.
Yeah, so I am a Pastel graduate of 2011. Woo, woo. Yes, and at that time, life was just amazing. It was carefree. It was authentic. I always resort back to just kind of those moments of creativity. The senior year or just high school period was just a time where your creativity was at its finest. It was the building process of kind of getting to know what you like and what you want to be and stuff like that, and exposing a lot of exposure in high school. And then when my senior year came about, it was just kind of finalizing on, okay, I'm about to step into adulthood. I'm about to step into going to college. What is the next step? But when you go to college, you finally realize that may not be what I want to do. So yeah. It's what I do take back from 2011 is just I'll just take it back to the creativity, the authenticness of who you are, the pureness of who you are. And I think that
people don't know, when you say authenticity, you're talking about some serious theatrical productions. And so let them know. I remember your authenticity, but what did it come out in? What forms did it take that year that you remember?
So I was a dance major at Pastel, and dance has always just been a ground, a therapy for me. And then when I say authenticity, just the space to be able to create choreography, or the space to be able to receive the emotion and the pureness of the art form, just not only with dance, but with performing arts, period. Mm-hmm. Being able to appreciate it from a just from a natural creative standpoint mentally. Mm-hmm. I think that with life, that is something that over time, when life hits you, when life just be lifing, sometimes you do lose that in that aspect, and you get clapped. And with high school, that was kind of like the foundation of where it started. So I do just suggest, like, always try to resort back to that and try to hold on to at least that pureness and that creativity.
Very cool. Yeah, I remember it well. And I was lucky to watch people get to experience that and kind of peak a little bit as they feel like the most interesting people in the school for a little while, maybe. Mm-hmm. and the most able artists. And so you did a lot of productions throughout your 4 years, right? You were in collaborations with other departments. I think creative writing and dance did.
Creative writing, dance.
Black history production that I got to help a little bit in the background with, I remember. And you were in some plays as well, is that right?
Yes, I did the Nutcracker. I also did, it's not a play per se, but we also did Coffee House. Coffee House is a thing. I tapped into spoken word for a while. I don't know if you in Victoria, but that was my gang, still is.
Oh, absolutely.
And so we also did spoken word too. So just the whole collective of creativity and authenticity is something that was taught, and I don't think it can ever be bought at Pacific. And that's just the environment of what we were surrounded in, just like-minded people.
Yeah,
and also like help us be just us,
Now you were a threesome strong poetic powerhouse there that we had to really think about. That's when those shows were like, we have to be sure we schedule right before we go to intermission, this kind of punch in the face, or, because it was really fun. And then competitive style, eventually we went on and we did some stuff later at Paseo that were being like in Brave New Voices and Louder Than Bob, where they had required elements like that with 3 and 4 people doing one poem. So you guys were blazing a path for other people to want to do that even then. And yeah, those were
Definitely.
some of the more memorable pieces because you had really brought the best out of each other too, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
I remember
It
that well. Okay.
always just surround yourself by people who inspire you, motivate you, push you. We're all still friends to this day. As a group, we're actually celebrating our 15-year anniversary of being friends this year. So
Wow.
that's one key thing I will just say that's super important is just always keeping yourself surrounded and grounded by people who want to see you win and who really do care for you outside of what your talents are.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah,
Absolutely agree.
that what a time to
Fantastic.
be alive. What a
Well,
time.
what a great situation to be in that those were your creative people then and your creative people now. And so that
Yeah.
very valuable, great move and way and do that maybe intentionally and make sure that stayed that way. So tell us the next question is kind of surrounding some of the things you've already talked about, but let's rewind back to the moment you were done with Paseo, because I think again for young people, this is the moment there are so many other things to think about. What do you remember about that moment? And then what do you remember deciding to do as your next move?
Okay. So that moment was a bit scary. I was 18. And then there's so many different avenues or decisions that you can make after high school. I decided to go to college. I went to Grambling State University, loved it, but then later on down the line, figured out college may not be my thing, but dance is. That was a big leap for me. Just kind of at the time. Now, in reality, in 2022, college isn't just the answer, but back in 2011, that was the standard of after you finish high school, you go to college.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's more diverse. You can do a trade or you can go into entrepreneurship. You can do whatever you choose to do. And it was extremely scary. And the process was scary. But, with the support and the love and then the encouragement and then just getting back to that creativity that, that was built while at Pastel, I was able to just get my guts up and then just full on go into full entrepreneurship. So now I actually stuck with dance and have my own dance studio at this point. It's Party Girl Fit. And I love what I do. So it's just kind of taking that scariness and turning it into fear, into a falling forward. So if I fail, I'm failing forward. I'm going to push forward and not be so nervous as that 18-year-old girl was. So I would just say that's kind of how I was to transition from being 18 years old, graduating high school, to finding college, and then to finding that path, just finding my own way.
Gotcha. So you are the chief person that made this startup happen? Do you have teammates in that? Has it become like a more than you kind of project, or is it something that, or I guess I'm asking too many questions. Did you start it all by yourself, I guess is what I'm wondering.
I started at a studio called the Stiletto Gym, and it's just kind of built that relationship with the owner, kind of became a secondhand man, shadowed her to see like what the ins and outs were, because if you have a passion for something, finding somebody that's a master of it is just the next level of just mastering the craft. And then it just got to a point where I just started my own business where I'm able to empower women, make them feel beautiful, make them feel confident, and just give them different forms of fitness that they can reach those goals and still feel beautiful on the inside.
Well, very cool. Out. Make sure listeners can tell us the name again so that if you're hearing this, you want to get in touch with Miss Davis here, you could find out how.
Absolutely. So it's Have Your Girl Time with Me, or also known as Party Girl Fit. And then we are located in Raytown, Missouri. And I don't know, just come book me.
Gotcha. Very cool. Well, we're kind of bringing it to the end here, and what's exciting, I had told you at the beginning of this that it's a little bit about advice, but I'm wondering what conclusions you're going to draw, because each one of your examples already served as like fantastic advice about keeping the friends around you who are creative, about, taking that leap, I imagine, and going all the way into something you believe in, choosing your passion and really remembering your passion from when you were. So now I've stolen all of your examples and spit them back to you. But beyond that, and even in addition to that, because that's fantastic to hear that in the moment of the value of your experience, and you'd be able to translate that to our listener. What else would you offer them that maybe you heard yourself then that has served you so well, or something that you think young people might need to hear, in 2022, given that it is a challenging year yet again to start off thinking about our futures. So what do you have for them there?
So just like advice, or
just something that you consider some wisdom, and like I said, you've already shared 3 major components of, I think, what's brought you to now, but do you have any kind of closing words?
You know what? Okay. So the quote that changed my life, and I was listening to a podcast or a speech by Will Smith. And I said it again, I'm gonna say it now: fall forward. You are going to fail a lot, but instead of failing and quitting, fail and improve. Take it as a lesson learned. Take it more as okay, now I know what not to do. Let me figure out how to do it. Fall forward. Just keep pushing forward. Keep striving towards your goal. And whatever your goal is, it doesn't have to be liked by everyone. And you have to kind of learn that whatever you chose or God chose what to do, whatever your purpose is, that's your purpose, and nobody can do it like you. And in the midst of that, keep moving and falling forward.
That's fantastic. And thank you, Will Smith. If you are truly the originator of that awesome alliterative statement, I bet there's some t-shirts and just some I'm going to go write on a little post-it note and keep in my desk. Just good.
Oh yeah.
Seriously powerful 2 words. So you heard it here, Kansas City. Thank you so much to our fantastic guest, Gabrielle Davis, today. You can find her by looking up, tell me again the name of your company.
It's Have Your Girls Night with Me on Facebook, or official Have Your Girls Night with Me on Instagram.
Awesome. All right. And we'll be looking to help support that. Another wonderful student that comes from Paseo Academy here in Kansas City, Missouri. Thanks again for listening to us today. If you like this show, reach out to me. My name is Chris Odam. I would love to have you on and feature your narrative in hopes that someone else might see it as a path they could entertain, and we all give each other a little bit more excitement and hope about our futures. So thanks again to our wonderful guests. Thank you, Kansas City. You guys have a great day out there.